everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Wish You Were Beer Show. This is a live beer review show that we do every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube. We also stream it through Facebook as well. We have a ton of different ways you can find us. Make sure you go down to the About section. Make sure you like and subscribe so you'll get notifications when the shows go live or when we put any new videos up. Also, you can find all of our social medias down there as well as our website. Website's got a full line of merch, all of our old content, all our new episodes, our schedule of events, pretty much everything you need to know about us other than my pant size. You don't get to know that, Phil. If you're joining us for the first time, we really appreciate it. If for some reason you came back after your first time, we appreciate that even more.
Shocking.
Good Lord, shocking. But again, this is a beer review show that we do every week. So if you like beer, if you know people that like beer, if you're trying to get into beer or trying to figure out beer, we do a different beer every week, typically from all over the United States. We've even had one international beer. Right? Just one?
Yeah. No, we did two.
Yeah. What was the second one?
We did. We didn't do a beer. We did a cider.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right.
Still pretty upset about it.
We didn't do.
I can hear it in your voice.
Didn't we do like the German?
Yeah, but I think it was still brewed here. It wasn't like brewed overseas.
I thought it was brewed overseas. It might have just been part of our like Oktoberfest series, where it wasn't actually one of the beers. It was just one of the ones that we purchased. Like,
nice guess, Dave. Nice guess.
Actually,
31's a little thick for this waste.
Oh, stop it! That's you in high school, basically.
Oh,
no.
The murder room. If I was in the murder room right now, I would have been murdered.
Yep.
It is.
It's
100 and something degrees here right now, and there is no AC in that murder room because I like to keep my bodies warm. So I do apologize. I'm not in the murder room tonight. I'm in my office, which is a life murder room in a sense. So
Ryan,
honestly, we made it 5 episodes before we forgot it was not a show about wine. So you are not alone here, sir.
I showed up with a plate of brie and I was ready. And
so again, this is a show about beer. We do it every week.
You're welcome to stick around, though. Wine.
You're welcome. Yeah, no.
Drink your wine and listen to us as we drink beer.
Sure,
it'd be great.
But again, just make sure you go down and find us through all the social medias. We post a lot of content there through Instagram. We do have a TikTok that's relatively new to us, so please don't be surprised that we date ourselves with it constantly by trying to figure it out.
Just like it.
Just like it.
Make us feel good about ourselves and our
ventures.
We're doing great. We got
great.
3 or 4 followers. I mean,
we have, hey, whoa, we're 14.
One of them is me.
Yeah, 2 of them are me. But that's a different story. One's my burner TikTok. Well, as always, I am Daniel. This is Tiffany drinking water from a boot. And the beautiful gentleman on the other side is Phil. So, Phil, you're back in California currently?
Yes, I'm in Los Angeles for the weekend before I head out to Austin on Monday. So
nice. Going to the city limits?
Yeah, no, Austin, Missouri.
Oh,
no.
That's like Baja, California. Never heard of it.
But I did come down the coast, and I visited some area that Tiffany loves talking about. I don't know if she's from there or not, but
beautiful.
She never brings it up.
Never. She loves Fresno.
Yeah, that's her favorite. Fresno's the best. I stayed overnight in Fresno because I didn't want to stay in Santa Cruz. That dumb. But no,
because it's a hellhole. The armpit of California.
Phil, what are you drinking right now?
Oh, right now? So this is a farmhouse ale from Jolly Pumpkin. I wanted to get some of the Saison farmhouse kind of flavors going before I cracked into the one we're having tonight so that I could, taste a little variety in what they can taste like.
Sure.
It's called Bam Bière.
Okay.
I don't speak French.
Where are they?
Which is not going to come in handy later either.
Where's the brewery out of?
They are out of Dexter, Michigan.
Okay, nice. We've had at least one Michigan beer on the show.
I like the dog. All
Yeah,
for
that's
that.
nice.
Yeah.
We've had that dog. I think we've had that beer.
I mean, we may have.
The dog looks familiar.
When I check it in later, I'll let you know if you've had it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
That's normally how I find out anything we've already had, is see who else has had it and been like, well, then I must have had it. Tiffany, what are you drinking?
A malt liquor.
I think that needs some type of
Yeah,
explanation.
we're gonna have to go into this one.
So, this is a 19.2 ounce can. Thank you, VBC, which is Virginia Beer Company. But this is their 39 words. So at least once a year, they produce a new variant of 39 words. And on the back, it actually has the 39 words that are in the 19th Amendment. So it is brewed and actually created by the women who work at BBC. And this year they decided to make a malt liquor that was a strong beer for all women. So it's a 7.5. So it's it's an imperial lager, basically.
Yeah. Super good, though.
But yeah, malt liquor. So really classy over here.
Big day.
This is going to go great.
I tell you what, about 30 minutes into this, this is going to go south so fast.
And Daniel, looks like you're drinking a PBR of sorts.
Not of sorts. I'm having a beautiful PBR.
Yeah.
I love that. I knew that was PBR.
Out of my 2024 koozie.
Yeah, because we had to edit.
We had to edit it. 2020 didn't quite work out. So.
Is PBR, speaking of, I don't know if Dave is out there watching, but
yeah.
Dave's got a event that we're all going to be a part of soon. Was PBR on that list?
Yeah, I think PBR is on the list.
God, perfect 10.
I love it. It's unfortunate that all the other beers are going to fall short of the ranking of PBR.
I know.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Dave, who chimed in on the comments earlier, he runs a show called Beer in Front. He's a friend of the show. He's out of Chicago, and he's doing his inaugural Beer in Front Awards. And so he's asked a bunch of us to judge different beers, some that are really readily available and some that maybe are a little more craft and a little more specific. So yes, so it is on the list, he says.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's the winner, Dave.
You know what's funny for me is
just not do it anymore.
My only input to
got
that
a blue ribbon for a reason.
True story. My only beer that I'm gonna judge, I'm just gonna judge 32 different PBRs. This one's a little different. Weird.
So there was this guy on Untappd who all he rated was like Bud Light or Coors Light or something.
Yeah.
And he had 5,000 check-ins, and they were all rated
just all
fives.
Bud Lights and just all fives.
Yeah, he rated him a 5 every time. But
Gabriel's just trying to get another shirt.
Ryan's sticking to it hard. He's having a rosé. Ah, damn, Dave's having a Schlitz.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So keep up with Dave as well. We're going to be some of the judges for his Beer in Front Beer Awards, which should be entertaining. There's a lot of folks involved and a lot of different kind of indie beer podcasts that are going to be involved that are good people and should be kind of fun to see what they think about a beer I drink a lot of.
I dig PBR.
And not to shout out another beer podcast that we're just trying to get people to leave us to go watch. Watch us equally. But have you seen that weekly beer show this week is Nate only?
I saw that. I am
I did not see that.
There was a really big part of me that wanted to be can I just come on and it'll just be me?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, Nate, you need a guest host, man.
Yeah, that's it. All of us are involved. Ask somebody.
Yeah. I think.
But I'm also so tempted to see what Nate is going to do.
Just by himself.
He's going to pull off something great, I think.
He'll be fine, no doubt. But it will be strange, as always, when two people are normally involved and all of a sudden there's one.
Yeah.
If it was either one of them, it would be weird.
Well, so there was the one time, thank goodness Vero saved us last time Phil wasn't here, but there was the one time where Phil wasn't here and it was just the two of us. And it was weird.
Yeah.
Oh, also, Phil, I would like you to know that you forgot to hit the go live button and we did.
So when this thing started, 2-3 seconds went by and I was like, did we not go live yet?
No, I hit it.
Nope.
Nope.
Yes, I did.
Not a chance. It was still said no on our side.
I definitely hit it.
Well,
So-
we hit it twice, so there's a good chance this isn't even airing.
Yeah, you ended the broadcast. That's all you did.
No, because it said go live, and it was like, "Are you sure you want to go live?" And I was like, "Yep," because
Because we've been down that road,
Yeah.
and it is a dark path.
we don't want to do that one again.
Well,
8:03.
if you say maybe we hit it at the exact
Hard.
same time, because I always let that thing run for a few seconds before
Yep.
I hit the go live. So
Go with
maybe
that.
I think you just have PTSD from that one time.
I do.
That's
100%
exactly what it
do.
is.
Yeah, the both of us were like, "We gotta go live.
Go live, damn it! All right.
Wow. Well, tonight we've got a good show.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited, obviously. But
I'm
for
excited
some-
because this show almost didn't happen for me. I literally
Yeah.
got the beer like an hour ago, 2 hours ago.
Yeah, so
And-
this was a
Listen,
was
this holiday was a
it was a holiday weekend,
Shit show.
obviously, and the beer we're drinking came out on Friday, and we were hungover Saturday, so
well.
we
We
didn't get to
bird
the.
scootered around,
We did some bird scootering.
and then
We Ubered.
I'm feeling real important over here.
We
Thanks.
Ubered.
well, we Ubered. We got into the Uber, and he said, "So you guys have been drinking?"
Oh,
He's like, "Oh, I can smell the beer on you," and I was like, "Thanks a lot, Dad. Drive me home."
I said you're welcome.
But yeah,
Only thing that can make this Nissan Sentra smell any better, motherfucker. Sorry.
was it a Nissan Sentra?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Because it's still on my Uber receipt.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Katie. We were very composed,
Yeah.
even though we had been drinking for 6+ hours.
Well, you had been drinking for 6+ hours. I had to work.
Oh, that's right. I got it there
And
before
then I had
you.
my massage.
I already
so
forgot
I
about
had to
that.
show up a little late.
it's going great.
Rough day.
Yeah.
So, for those of y'all that maybe missed the bus on everything we've done in the past month, we did another collaboration beer with Tradition Brewing out of Newport News. Phil sort of has the can, but he's kind of not in the murder room, so you can't kind of really see it.
There we go.
So this is a Saison that we brewed with them. Tiffany and I did the brew day. We had the release party this past Friday, so now the beer is readily available finally.
I can't believe we have a second beer.
It's
Let
ridiculous.
alone a first, we have a second. And it wasn't just something we made in a toilet. Like we actually made this beer. It's
That's
This
very-
wasn't a college dorm tub.
That's for you, Ryan. We're not just making toilet wine on this show. We brewed actual
Yeah.
beer.
Although we should make a rosé. That'd be refreshing.
I mean,
No.
And we'll have it on the show, Phil, like a cider.
Well, if we did like a rosé inspired beer, maybe.
Those are terrible. Don't do
Well, so that
Yeah,
was
that
the,
does sound
that.
bad.
Never had a
remember
good one.
no Phil, remember we did it was one of the ones that was actually like a Pink Boots one where there
Yeah.
was it was a brute rosé
Oh yeah.
IPA, and I was like, this tastes worse than the dirt that the like wheat grew out
Oh,
of.
true story. 100%. It was miserable.
Was awful, and I was so mad that it was a Pink Boots one because I was like, what happened? Why this is no.
Do you guys not have a pink editor who comes
No,
in and
it
goes,
was-
"No, this is bad."
It was more of just like, how did this happen? Like,
So
women
I'm,
had to
I'm
have to
excited
struggle.
because we've got two people on the show tonight who might be able to answer why these wine beers don't work.
Oh.
True. True.
Because I feel like I keep trying them and I keep being very disappointed.
Yep.
So
Every once in a while, there's a brute something that
That's
it's
okay,
just like
yeah.
a crisp,
Yeah.
bubbly, like highly carbonated beer, and it's good.
Two people on the show. What we have Mallet and his cat.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would that be great if I just brought Mallet in? Just
I
shot
would
you both
imagine.
with the mallet.
I'd actually just be more impressed if you brought his backdrop in and it was just the cat walking around. Like we hacked his like security camera and keeps an eye on his cat with.
Oh, wait. We almost forgot. Before we bring them in, I know we got to get this. We're running long already.
Already.
We haven't even talked about last week's shirt yet. So let's bring in last
Oh,
week's
yeah.
shirt. It's up on the website. Here it is.
And if you follow any of Tiffany's trivia, it's always a lot of trickery involved, and it's not quite true or false. It's,
Yeah, but then I go, well, it's true because I wrote it and I was.
and
I
then
thought it'd
someone
be-
from the brewery goes, well, it's kind of true, but not 100% because
Pretty much every true or false question. It's always like,
I love it.
Well,
So
we got a couple more tonight. So
for those of you all who don't know what we do every week, we try to drag some type of commentary or clip out of every week and turn it into a shirt.
Yep.
So if you go to our website at wishyouwerebeershow.com, we have a bunch of regular shirts. This one from Tradition is actually on the website as well from our collaboration.
Yeah.
So you can get that in multiple fits, multiple colors. But we also have all our regular stuff, but then you'll see inspired by episode XYZ. So if you see a random ass shirt, like let's say it's a Swedish taco, perhaps.
I almost wore that, but then I was like, I should probably wear the Tradition shirt.
If you see a Swedish taco and you're wondering where the hell it comes from, the episode numbers are included on the shirt. Go back and watch it, and chances are you can probably pick up pretty quickly as to why that came about.
It's where Lagerjack came from.
Where Lagerjack came from as well. That's right. So,
all right, let's get this show started.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I assume we, like every week, have some type of promotional clip, some type of...
We do. And when
right.
we get back, we'll have our guest from Tradition Brewing on with us.
Perfect.
Here we go.
Excited to meet him. Kevin and Abby, how are you?
Hey!
Cheers.
Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, welcome back to the show.
It's nice to meet you finally.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's weird y'all kept superimposing me in on pictures like that. That is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Feels
So
really
for
good.
those of y'all who maybe don't remember, we did a Tradition beer, one of the first of y'all's hazy IPA series that now I believe you're probably getting close to working on your third, if not already. Yeah, nice. So we did their public presentation beer a while back ago. So if you've been keeping up on the show, you're probably somewhat familiar with Kevin and Abby down at Tradition.
I'm not. No idea who they are.
Yeah, I understand that, Phil. I think, well, no, wait, you met them both too.
Uh-huh.
Well, for a second, I was
Well,
like, yeah, maybe.
I met them. I don't remember much about meeting them. But I do know that I was in a room with them at some point in my life. Yes.
Yes,
You did it right.
true story. And good question right off the bat, Vero. And no, Abby tried to add one of her dirty socks to it, but we went a different direction.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, nobody saw him do it. The
Were you-
camera turned off.
You're wondering where that back end funk comes from. That's all gym socks, bro.
Can't wait to open this thing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went all out.
So you guys had a busy week this week?
We were doing maintenance this week, so it's not that bad as
Yeah.
far as brewing, but we're heavily into packaging.
I was gone last week, so everyone's riding like a really easy wave right now.
And it's funny. I thought about that too because we made this beautiful beer. We brewed all day together. We've hung out multiple times since. Let's say at a theme park. Went places together, and then here comes last Friday. Abby is nowhere to be
Yeah.
found.
We rode the chairs together.
We rode the chairs. It's sacred.
And you even held on to me so I could be flung off.
Well, I mean, I've hung out with you two long enough, and I also need to take some days off. So
fuck you.
I don't blame you, Abby, one bit.
My sister was in town from London. It was like one of those, like, I was like, I can't go anywhere this weekend. She's like, guess what? I booked my flight. I was like, that weekend?
I mean, that's kind of important.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
Sister wins, so.
I have multiple siblings, so usually if one of them's doing something, I'll be like, I'll do something with the other one at a different date. Usually works out pretty well.
Yeah. AJ and I barely talk, so
That makes sense. Who's
I don't-
AJ?
yeah, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Apparently, someone who doesn't text me back when I'm in Santa
Her
Cruz.
initials.
Did he text you back? No. I should have just given you his girlfriend's phone number. Not
All right. Well, I have to ask because we just talked about it. Kevin, Abby, why can't we make a good wine beer?
Okay, so there is. It depends on what you say about wine beer because we just made a sangria goza
I hear it's terrible. No.
I mean, it does depend on who you ask. But one of my favorite things is seeing people who are trying either a Goza for the first time or, just that particular beer for the first time, because it's tart and it'll get you. So if you're not expecting it, their face goes very, very puckered, and it's fun to see.
Yeah.
But I think what happens with a lot of these wine beers, especially like the brewed IPA or something like that, is that you kind of like what you need to make an IPA very sessionable is kind of a balance, but like you're featuring hops, but there still has to be a malt backbone. But with a brewed IPA, you're removing that balance. That malt backbone it's like gone. So you have to layer in your hops a little better to make it more sessionable. I think it's just kind of a fatty thing. But I feel like, Abby absolutely likes.
Yeah, I actually argued with him during like the green room. Not argued, but I was just like, actually, like I really love a good brew IPA. And he's like, well, what about the balance? And I'm like, well, there comes a certain time where you've been in the industry or you've been an aficionado or you've been dabbling for a certain amount of time, and you're very used to a very good balance, and you're like expecting the spectrum of things to be happening to you. And then at one point you get this thing that you expect, and it's just like does something one off, and you're like, why did it do that? That's so unbalanced, and I like it. And it's like one of those things that's like you get so used to wanting that balance, and then you're like get really used to being proud that you acknowledge it, and then you just want to get knocked off your fucking your seesaw at some point.
Yeah, and I think that's fair as well. Like if you're expecting all the things that make most beers good, like consistently or all the time, and then all of a sudden you get something that's kind of off kilter, it's either going to make you mad because it doesn't taste like a good beer, or like if you really, I think most of the time for some of that stuff, I need to have 2 or 3 of them, like not just my knee-jerk reaction, because my knee-jerk reaction usually is like, well, this is fucking trash. Why don't we make yeah. But I think most of the beers I've had that are in that style, if I have a second one of it or a different variation of it, usually I will find something eventually that I like in any given one of them.
That is how they get you with wine.
Yeah.
That's why wine is a single serving.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, a single serving of wine?
This is a bottle, guys. There's no glasses involved.
I think we drink wine the same. This is interesting. Good to know.
Kevin, with your sangria goza, the sangria goza, are you actually using wine in it to get that, or is it literally just kind of like because sangria is kind of like a fruity wine to begin with? Yeah. Are you just calling it a sangria goza, or is there actual sangria going on here?
No, so it was inspired from time at another brewery where we had made a beer that had like a mixed berries in it, and I felt like it gave it kind of like a red winey kind of flavor to it. So it was unique enough that I remembered it, and when it came time to try to put some variety on our rotating goza, sangria was something that I wanted to try. And then when I brought it up to Abby, she suggested we do like mixed berries and peaches, and that's what we went with.
Nice.
Very cool.
And I enjoy the sangria goza. It's pretty solid.
It is delicious.
It's like fun for me. It comes full circle because I've bartended for 1 million years, and every single sangria I've ever made, I put a can of beer into. So I'm like, there's a whole bunch of beer in my sangria now. This is amazing.
There's beer in my sangria. Carrie can't put all those pots away. Right.
Yeah, so there's no actual like sangria in it. The flavor is just coming from mixed berries and white peach.
Believe me, it was hard to get it TTB and ABC approved, having a name with a wine term in it, because they hit me up with like several emails like, can you confirm that there is no wine in this? And I'm just like, I can confirm you're an idiot.
I actually really enjoy the idea of like, much like making chili. If you don't know how to make chili, you just get a chili packet and dump it in there. You guys had like a little Kool-Aid sangria packet, and we're like just adding them one by one to like a 15-barrel system.
Had to desiccate for a while, and it was pulverized powder.
I'd love to hear a little bit more about this. You have to submit everything to, what was this the term you said?
So statewide, you have to go through a Virginia ABC alcohol board of something.
Alcohol beverage
control free
It's a
thing.
good thing you're not a professional.
You have to.
They just say ABC. You're fine.
I'm just in charge of all this. I don't know what it means.
I just work here.
You basically have to go through a labeling process where you provide the legal name, you provide the ABV to your best known knowledge within 3%, 0.3% of your final recipe, and that's all that needs to be approved on the statewide arena. But that revolves around submission online, and then you also have to submit via snail mail still. Like, you can't just do one or the other, and they still have to have a physical check sent through, which is very fun. And then for TTB, which is the Tobacco and Trade Bureau or something like that, that's federal. That one's actually very simple. The statewide authorizations cost $30 a pop. So for any name that you want, even if they don't approve, you have to give them $30 to say yes or no. But for TTB and for the whole nation, you submit it and they're like, "Well, think about it," and then they'll give you a check mark and they'll say you're approved. We don't like what you did, but we're gonna let you sell it.
But we'll let you sell it because it's probably going to bring more tax money.
Exactly.
Across the board.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's just two separate approvals, of much different time lag and different costs, but they're both necessary and they keep me employed. So,
yeah.
God, you should do a whole series of names that just underscore makes fun of them, so they have to keep approving them.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
That is certainly in our wheel.
I also did
this label costs $30.
Yeah, this thanks, whatever it is, AC something.
Yeah.
I had a difficult time approving a name earlier because it didn't have a good acronym until we figured out that it did, and I was like, I'm for it. We should definitely submit it.
I love it. Well, I feel like one thing we fucked up on that we actually didn't mention because we just know you guys and you've been on the show before, but Kevin, you are the head brewer at Tradition, correct? Yes. And Abby, I assume you are his manager.
Something like that, yeah.
You keep Kevin organized and on time and scheduled, and Kevin makes beer.
Our cellarman did tell me when I was gone last week, he was like, I realized, I think you take care of Kevin. He did.
I love it. I love it.
He did look pretty lost. It's like a little deer in the headlights whenever we saw him.
That's so funny. All right, well, let's.
But no, just for clarification, Abby is the assistant brewer.
Yeah, I know.
I just would like everyone.
sure.
I was waiting for her to say it. Like, no, actually, fuck you. I'm.
I run this place.
I run this bitch.
Label art.
You what?
She does all the label art.
She
True
does
story. Yeah, true story. Which
And
you know,
we've
with the hazy IPA series, both the cans that have come out already, I really loved. So I'm excited for the third.
And
one.
our label art is
Yes.
phenomenal.
Yes, it
It
is.
is.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, let's get into something. What do we do next?
I think we do have some history and facts, sort of, which I think is the next portion we want to get into. I love your two clicking over there. Oh, nope, that didn't work.
My hands weren't quite ready for it.
Yeah. Welcome to my Saturday night. Ah. All right. So for those of you who maybe don't follow the show, this is typically the portion that we deem history and facts, but it's probably turned more into a little bit of trivia at this point. So we're going to do a little bit of trivia. Phil and I don't know the answers. Tiffany does the trivia, which means it's kind of 50-50 if it's right or wrong.
It's true. Or
Yeah, true or false-ish. So that being said, if you're logged in either through Facebook or through YouTube, you can comment along. So make sure you play trivia with us. Give us your answers as well. There's a little bit of a lag, so we'll try to give it a few seconds before we get into everything. So that being said, let's roll that beautiful first question.
True or false?
God damn it, I hate these.
Saisons use top fermenting yeast.
I mean, okay, so
We know this.
I mean, I know you know it.
No, we know this.
I drank 12 Saisons Friday. I may not know this anymore.
It quickly became a bottom fermenting yeast.
Oh yeah, boy! Late Saturday night, I was bottom fermenting hard. Turned me into a bottom fermenter. So there's a portion of me that just wants to say top fermenter because they poured the yeast into the top of the fermenter. Like there was a picture of Kevin pouring the yeast in.
Kevin, he learned so much.
Honestly, I'm a huge creature of habit, so other than getting brewery baptized, I feel like everything I did that day I could physically do again. Like I already know it at that point.
You could do that again.
No, that was way too much fun for y'all. That was way too much fun for y'all.
If only there was a blog.
I know, girl. God. I feel like these questions have been answered.
It has.
They definitely have, and I still have no idea.
God, only if you say it in a specific voice, Phil. God. All right, Phil, what do you think?
I'm going with top as well. It sounds familiar. It sounds right, but I just want to know if I'm learning something yet on the show. And I think if I'm correct here, then I'll feel good about myself that I've learned something.
Well, Vero says true, and based off of my limited knowledge of anything, I took context clues, and I also said true. So,
do you think if it's a bottom fermenter yeast, they actually add it from the bottom?
Yeah, it's really hard to pull off. I don't know if you've ever seen it happen, but you got to open it real fast, throw it in, close it, and you lose a lot of it right off the bat.
Yeah.
Very brave job.
All right, Kevin or Abby, what is the answer to this one? Oh,
So
they don't know.
It is considered an ale, so that is a top fermenting yeast. And it is absolutely possible for us to introduce yeast through the bottom, but it's through a keg and pressure.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It's all an enclosed system.
Yep.
We can use CO2 to push yeast in, and then we'll actually draw some beer out to kind of mix in the little vessel, and then we'll force that back in. But you do that with lager yeast, which is bottom fermenting yeast, or with ale yeast.
And that is yeast that you've already, you've collected from you've harvested, correct? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. And is that the little small rolly cart motor, basically, that you're just cycling it back through it and forcing it back in, so it's coming through?
That one, it only requires CO2, pressure and CO2. That doesn't require a pump. It's all gravity and pressure.
So it's essentially a vessel that looks like a half barrel Sankey keg, but it's got a big, 4-inch fitting on the top that we can remove, and then we can put whatever we want inside, and then we'll purge it with CO2, and then we can push it into the beer.
Interesting.
After we clean it, it goes through all the cleaning cycles.
Yeah, it's super terrifying. Like one of the first times he was showing me how to do it, and I'm like, oh, just hook the hose up and open the valve on the bottom. I'm like, you're fucking crazy. No.
I saw a kid do this last week.
CO2's at 30 psi, and I'm like, I don't care.
That goes.
That is, if I learned anything from our brew day with Kevin, Kevin's like, it'll be fine. We'll figure it out. Which is exactly how Daniel was doused in beer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say doused in beer.
Oh, no.
Kevin asked me to remove a clamp. I removed a clamp. It happened to be behind the clamp he asked me to remove, which means it just opened the entire tank up and just pissed beer all over me. Yeah. Until Kevin could get in there as fast as he could and clamp it back off because it was.
We got it sorted pretty quick.
Yeah. Was that coming out of the mash tun at that point? I mean, it was still pretty hot. It wasn't terrible, but
it was about 140 degrees.
Yeah. So it was a big day. It was a big day for me.
At least it wasn't coming out of the brew kettle.
Yeah, true story. I consider that to be what I'm starting to sell mainly to foreign people currently because they don't know what it is. But it's called a beer sauna. I just pump beer over hot coals. Smells good, does the same thing.
They actually do have a beer spa that you do, I think, sit in beer in.
What?
I want to say that does exist.
It does. They have the big barrels. I've talked about this, and I was like, we need to do this as a vacation. It's fine. Again, he knows that ale is a top fermenter. He also knows that this is a thing. Does a lot of listening.
Vero.
Okay, Vero. Okay, you. God.
That's on our Delivering Baby podcast on Wednesday. Come on, Vero.
This is
save it
way
for that
louder
one.
than this one, surprisingly.
That's surprising.
It's
Right.
just audio from the delivery room
Just audio.
for an hour,
Oh.
unedited. All right.
Go to question 2.
Drunk when we were brewing.
Where does the Saison originate? France, Belgium, or Germany?
Well, this one's a little confusing because I read on our can something about France and the south of Belgium and the French region of Belgium or something. So now I'm a little confused.
Well, if you read the history and facts on the can that we made, it's the first sentence.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but southern Belgian farmhouses. But I think it was, I don't know. All right,
Right, exactly. Here.
we'll go with Belgium
Look
then. But
at the can, bitches. Yeah, it's definitely Belgium.
He can't read his own font.
yeah, right.
This is fair. I think it's actually just a reading issue, not necessarily.
But people always, but Saison is French, so that kind of confuses it. And everyone always says a French Saison, so I always think of it.
I've never said a French Saison. I don't know who you hang out with or talk to, but
Well, it's because
Lot
they have
of-
to qualify it. Otherwise, it would just be a Saison and it would be from Belgium.
yes,
There it
Andy,
is.
we are getting there. Good God.
That's the second time I've ruined one of these. I'm just
So
racking them
obviously it's B, correct? Somebody?
Yes. So
It's-
up.
they speak French in southern Belgium, why it is the French area of Belgium, but it is from Belgium. So it's from these French-speaking farmers who live in Belgium
Gabriel, get a fucking.
who were brewing beer in like the late harvest time period for the next year's harvest, or the saisonniers or the seasoners.
You know, I don't
seasonal
speak
workers.
French.
I'm trying.
Nailing it. Killing it.
We'll see.
Well, like Andrew, I want to crack into our beer altogether. We are about to do question 3, which means that is the time when we open up the beer, try it before we review it.
Yes, and if you
Everyone
missed it,
on this call has already had this because they didn't wait for me. Bunch of jerks.
I mean,
But,
we
you
were
know,
there
it's
waiting
fine.
for you. We were drinking while we were waiting for you.
I'm going to open this up, give my first sip. Here we go. Question 3. Oh,
True or false? Farmhouse ales were originally brewed at a moderate level ABV to 7%.
first brewed or originally brewed?
Originally brewed.
Yeah, I think 7% seems high for the original brew. 5% definitely, because it's a bunch of farmers and I ain't trying to get lit. I already got to beat my wife when I get home.
God. What?
No, I just meant, I'm thinking of like
he's not taking himself.
Belgian farmers. Come on, they weren't exactly family folk.
I mean, I think they were in the fact that they were like, we need the family to farm. Have more babies. We need more people to help.
I think this. I'm going false on this one. I think it's lower. I think it was originally almost like meant to be not that strong. So I'm going with a much lower than that.
Andy, did you just her wife is Kate? Oh, there's Michelle.
Hey,
Michelle.
Crash to the party. She heard farmers.
You heard beat your wife, and she's like, "Excuse me." She was coming to get me, is all it was.
She was like, Daniel.
Daniel.
So I'm with Vero on this one. I think it's true. I think 5% was the low range. 7 seems high, but I'm not a Belgian French speaking saisonnier, so
Yep.
I'd take a 7%er, but
So, from my research, it's false in the fact that it was more of a 3 to 5%. But traditional
research did
ones
you do?
now, I read some things on the internet, just like Abraham Lincoln.
Jesus, here we go.
I did tell a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
There are 3 like levels of saisons now. There is like the table saison, which is a 3 to 5%. There's a standard, which is like a 5 to 7, and then there's like a, is it called a strong saison
No,
or
we're not gonna call it
an
strong
imperial
saison.
saison?
It's called super.
Yep.
Super. Okay, but then there's like a third one, which is, there we go, super. And so the super one is usually like a 7+%. Like it is like a, it would be like an imperial version.
Sort of, yeah.
But yes, so initially they were supposed to be much lower.
All right. So I know we're running a little long. We do have one question that we absolutely need to get to because it's relatively specific.
Okay.
So if we can get to that last question. Let's do that real quick.
So true or false?
Oh no.
Oh no!
This was Kevin's first attempt at a saison.
Oh, interesting.
I know the answer to this, so I'm not gonna voice my opinion.
I kind of want to say true because it's a weird question if it's false. And I always go that route when I think of these questions.
Fair. I think that's fair. Your
I mean,
reasoning
maybe
is
he's
solid.
like, no,
We're
I've
good.
brewed a ton of them, and that's why this one's so good.
Yeah, but that then seems boring. That seems like a boring question to me.
Called out.
So I'm going with first here.
Okay.
True.
So you're saying true. Katie's saying false. Pharaoh says true. We already know Adam is a jerk. No, I'm just kidding. Called out. Sorry. Andy says true as well. Kevin,
Well,
is this
a lot of people don't have faith in you?
Is this the first time you've brewed a saison?
Yes.
You son of a bitch! You could have told us that on the front end.
So it was really funny. After we had brewed it, and we are like, wow, this is really good.
Yeah, it turned out
He was
great.
like, I've never done this before. And we were like, you motherfucker. Like, what do you mean you've never done this before? Like, you could have warned us before we start putting our name on this thing.
So, Kevin, walk me through first, why have you never made one before? And then what is so different about making one compared to something else?
So I guess it was just time and opportunity. I've been professionally brewing for about a decade, and I don't know why I haven't made a saison before. I made plenty of Belgian, like golden strong ales and all kinds of other stuff. Just never happened to be a saison. And then for a lot of the breweries that I worked at, I wasn't necessarily in charge of coming up with the recipes for them. I was just following the recipes. But I have enough experience with the ingredients and the percentages of ingredients and stuff like that, with just a little bit of research that you can do just online through craft beer magazines and stuff like that. You can kind of get an idea of what your best practices should be for brewing that beer, and kind of lean on your experience and go ahead with it.
And then you need a Tiffany. I thought then you need a Tiffany.
Oh yeah, and then, yeah, at the very end, we actually had the beer as it was coming out of the finishing up fermentation. The yeast wasn't quite doing as much of the Belgian funk that we wanted, and it is traditional to spice this beer as well. So we all gathered around in the brewery and drank some of it.
Spices in mini beers.
Yeah, we put a little bit of spice in, and we determined what we needed. Yeah, cardamom and clove were what we did. So I gradually introduced some cardamom. We toasted in the oven first and let it sit for about 24 hours, and then tried it again and add a little more, tried it again. And at that point, we decided it was good to go on the cardamom route, but it needed something just a little more to kind of bring the balance back. And we found that when we added just a touch of clove to the sample beer, that's what we were like, yeah, that's what we need right there. And
Now, y'all toasted the clove as well, like similar idea, but the clove, it was interesting, I think, when we were talking about it, that like you threw the clove in basically and then immediately transferred it over. Like you don't want clove to sit in it for a long
It was
period of
already
time.
transferred. It got put in. It sat.
Oh, and then it went straight to production, is what it was.
It went straight through. Yeah, it was like okay, are we ready to package this? Because once we put the clove in, it's got to get out of the bright.
Yep.
And that's how it happened.
And
I'm just picturing Abby smoking cloves, throwing them in, smoking
He
another clove, throwing it in.
Only of Dijarums. He had never had one. I'm like, you never had a fucking Dijarum?
For me, it was always, we joked about it on another episode. It's the Camel back alley blends, the little tin can. They had 20
the
cigarettes
Dijarums
in
were
flat, like in a little
delicious.
rubber band, and they were all clove cigarettes.
You never had like the little clicky fire cigarettes ever? Like, come on.
Come on, man.
Abby's like, it needs more clove.
I just stood near the bright tank and smoked for 24 hours.
So what made it different from any other beer, Abby?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So these were clove cigarettes.
Oh yeah.
They're regular.
The other ones are just a lot of menthol in this.
Those ones are just smoked beers.
They went through my Newport
the
days.
smoked beer.
Okay.
I love it. Honestly, I forgot what we do next at this part of the show.
We just talk about the beer.
I mean, I feel like Kevin gave it a pretty good explanation. I thought it was fun being there on Brew Day, mainly because both of y'all are extremely laid back in the sense that you guys were really hands off in the project. Like, hey, yeah, go up there and push this button on this $30,000 machine, And I'm like, no, I will not. Come up here and point at which button you want me to push. So I want to push the wrong button.
I don't want to get doused in 140-degree beer again.
At least it was calm music.
Yeah, very calm music throughout the entire day.
Not at
You're
all.
welcome.
Yeah.
We meddled out all day.
Yeah.
Just
It was amazing.
brutal metal.
That's interesting. I can really taste the metal.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I provided some playlists. To
Yeah,
listen
Kevin
to them.
provided some.
Yeah.
Milk space. Is that a milk space?
Yeah,
I listen to metal.
And I always think it's funny. So like we've done 2 of these now, and I think as a brewer, and correct me if I'm wrong, everyone's just excited they don't have to dump bags into the mill grain.
I love
Like, oh, this guy will do it for us. He's an idiot.
No, I get mad when everyone else does it. I'm like, I want to do it.
Oh, really? That's your jam?
Yeah, that's my jam, for sure. Feats of strength. I
Yeah.
love.
Feats of strength. Thanks, Seinfeld. Jesus.
I just love that you all have steps up to the mill.
I've fallen off those before.
You should.
That makes a lot
be
of sense.
careful.
You shouldn't
Like a
drink
lot of
before you
hazards.
mill in.
Yeah.
No, it was actually when Kevin first started and we cleaned everything. His first thing was like, we're cleaning everything. I'm like, okay, I like cleaning too. And so we pulled out the palette of like the steps and it got put in a way that it wasn't wrong, but it was a way that like my pattern didn't fit. So I was like milling in one day and I like did my what? I got all the way to the top and I like went to fling it over and I was like, oh, and I was like, thank you, little wall.
Thank you, little. Stay strong, little wall.
Yeah.
No
Oh,
grain arms, only my elbows.
I love it. All right, so what do you guys have coming up at the brewery? Obviously, I know we're Persnickety Witch is already out.
Yep.
Right. So your pumpkin beer or your yam beer is already out and rolling.
Oktoberfest, I think, was just released.
Yeah,
too.
on Friday.
Tomorrow?
Oh, tomorrow.
Yeah.
I had to sign up a week. My first
Oktoberfest is
one.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's-
so the beer is coming out tomorrow. On
Right.
Saturday, we are having a big Oktoberfest.
Like the actual get together.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, nice.
And on the 24th, we're going to be participating in the Battle of the Beers that is down on the south side. And yeah, we will be there with Thrive. They're a local charity, and we brewed a California Common called For the Common Good.
Nice. Yeah, I dig that.
We're looking forward to
I'm
that.
really excited about the beer.
And also, not to bring up old news or spent grain, if you will, if we're in the same industry.
Very good. Now,
But
which
yeah, right.
You were barley there.
Didn't you guys? Didn't you guys just win? You won an award for.
Oh, yeah.
I think is one of your.
It's an
first,
award.
it's one of your first original brews at Tradition, correct?
We have
Yes.
bowling alley.
We recently won gold at the Virginia Craft Brewers Guild Cup for our Tradition Honey Brown. And it was actually another one of those beers that technically it was the second time that I'd ever done it. I mean, I've brewed brown ales before, but that was the first time that it was my recipe that I was brewing. So,
Nice.
yeah, and I'm very proud of that one. And then our Red Willie also won an honorable mention, which is our Irish Red Ale.
Nice. Now I was excited to find out that was your recipe for that, because it's stellar, and then B, that other people agree is always a good thing, because it makes me feel not like an idiot. So that being said, though, so you're like, let's say it's the first time you brewed something, and maybe the award season comes up again next year. I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
I mean, on can art alone.
Can art alone.
yeah,
I know, right?
I'm thinking that we don't really need to review this beer because it's going to be top-notch score. But I think what everyone really wants to know, and this is what's going to be super important to everyone, is whether or not
it bats.
This beer bats. I mean, that's really what people are going to want to know. And
no.
yeah, I'm a little concerned. I'm afraid it might not. You know, we don't know yet. I'll just do a little
I'll give you a little faith.
What is that? T-ball bat?
It smells fantastic coming out of this tunnel.
Boot earlier too. We should see if it boots.
Tiffany does have a boot.
Well, we can see if it boots.
She boots.
Oh, it bats. This beer definitely bats. It's a great bat beer.
Cheers.
All those aromas come flying out of the bat.
See if it boots.
All right, so
It boots.
that being said, two things. First, Kevin and Abby, thank you so much for coming back on again and hanging out with us. This is the second time you've been on, which, again, you've got to be glutton for punishment. But more importantly than that, thank you so much for letting us come play around in the brewery. We got the chance to play with all your equipment, hang out with you guys, spend a lot of time with y'all on this beer, which has been fantastic.
Yes.
Obviously, we spent a lot of time there to begin with, but we really appreciate the connection that we've made with you guys, and really look forward to doing some more things with y'all and hanging out some more. I think y'all might be frozen. Am I frozen? Who's frozen?
I think we're all just really focused on you.
No.
I think everyone's just...
No, Kevin and Abby have not blinked yet.
Yeah, they're doing a great
It's a
job.
staring contest.
God, if they're doing a staring contest right now, I already failed. They are...
Should we leave them here for a while? I love that while you were being all nice. That's when it froze.
100% leave them there until they pop back in.
Oh, they left.
They were like, nope, Daniel is... We don't want to listen to that.
Daniel's
Well, now they'll have to watch the whole episode to find out how nice I was about them. But no, seriously, that being said, Tiffany and I had a blast that day.
Yep.
We had a blast on the release party. Everybody was really, really good to us. And yeah, it was a blast.
Yeah. The staff at Tradition, much like every brewery, has changed over the years. And the staff they have currently, it's amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Really, really love them all. They're back in.
So, and anyway, I was just saying, like, honestly, there's a point where everyone becomes an asshole. Oh, hey, guys.
Oh, hey.
For our internet.
Daniel was saying really nice things to you all, and then you just dropped.
God, y'all just froze. I love it. No, I just...
Well, yeah, we're gonna have to look at it on YouTube.
You don't have to. I'll just tell you. We had a blast. You guys are great. We had so much fun making the beer, the release party, getting to spend time with you guys, getting to know y'all in general, and picking your brains about a lot of this stuff has been extremely fun. And we're looking forward to more of it. And, I mean, obviously, we'll see you guys with some regularity.
Yeah. If you don't call me, this is over.
In general?
I texted you in the middle of the show. I think we're good.
Oh, okay. Good.
So my bedtime has already started, so I have
I sit in silence.
Yeah.
I understand them.
I love it. No,
Oh,
but honestly,
I see.
we're
I'm
looking
forward.
forward to hanging out with you guys some more. And again, just really appreciate you being on the show multiple times, hanging out with us and supporting our show as well. We're gonna kick you guys out and let Phil actually review this beer though, because he's one of the only ones that hasn't had it.
All
So-
right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Kevin bought a
Yeah.
sweatshirt. Look at that. Well, I bought $400 of this beer, so great. Enjoy the $30.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on.
Cheers, you guys again. Thank you
Cheers.
so much.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right. All right. Well, we should talk about the beer a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah, do it.
Let's do it.
All right, so for those of y'all who might be unfamiliar with the show, this is typically the portion where we review the beer. This is kind of an oddity one because this was a collaboration beer, so Tiffany and I have already had it. Phil hasn't had it. Vero in the chat hasn't had it yet. We are doing De La Ferme from Tradition, which was brewed in collaboration with the Wish You Were Beer Show. It's a Saison.
I mean,
All you, boo.
it's fantastic. I mean, it really is. And y'all know, like, clove for me doesn't normally go. It's not my favorite flavor in
Yep.
beer. However, I'm hearing like how they had to put it in and take it out real quick.
Yep.
I kind of sense that because you get that little bit of clove, but you don't fully get it. Like it's not overpowering in any way whatsoever. And I was nervous when I saw clove as one of the main things on there.
For sure.
I was like, uh-oh. So for me, you know, might be a little biased, but I'm just gonna give this a straight up 5.
Oh no, is now he frozen?
I'm okay with this, Phil.
Or is he mannequin challenging?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Perfect.
man. God, that was good.
That was good. That was very good.
I used to be a living statue. That's not a joke.
I forgot about that. You're 100% correct.
Damn.
Uh,
You got me good, Phil.
You know, I think I'm always going to give our beers a perfect 5 because of the experience of the whole thing, just the fact that someone will brew a beer with us, and Kevin and Abby were just so wonderful to do that with us. And so there's a lot of love in the beer, and that's going to boost that score up to a 5 every time for me, I think.
I'm a huge fan of that because I don't think if we put our name on it, I'm probably not going to put out something that I wouldn't drink. And yes, Tiffany did sign Andy's cans. Take that how you will. Oh, see, so that's good, Vero, because I was worried both about the clove and the cardamom. Cardamom. I was like, I feel like this is not up Vero's alley at all. Like,
Well, we didn't put cinnamon in it, so at least.
I mean, I dabbled with the idea of just dumping cinnamon in it when no one was looking, but
Just in one can. The
just
can
one.
pour a bunch of cinnamon in it and
I
send
had
it off to
I had them give me one low fill. I added cinnamon, dumped it into a new can, and then they sealed it. This is
Sent it off
awful.
to Vera.
No cinnamon.
That's a terrible thing.
No, but it's it was a ton of fun, and the beer turned out great.
Yes.
Especially at like 5%. Like, good lord,
Yes.
you can drink this shit all day.
I think I really like that it's a 5%er.
Yep.
And because if the clove was stronger at 5%, you wouldn't want more than one, or
Correct.
like it would be harder. So I think they really just nailed every level here.
That was literally Kevin's first conversation about adding clove to it. He was like, if I add clove to it, it's going to be for a split second, and then we're packaging it.
Yeah,
Like,
because
I'm not letting it sit. I
it's
don't.
such a strong flavor.
Yeah.
Clove is the one that makes your tongue go numb too, right? Like, do you have like too much of it, in, like your tea or
that sounds
something?
like a heart attack.
No, I
You
think
should have
that's
that looked at.
I think it's a real thing. I think clove, it has like a weird.
All right, I think we have one Untappd review.
Oh,
I think we have one of them.
I mean, we've got a few, but I've got to find it because I can barely see in this. So we're just gonna bring them all in real quick.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
do it.
Yeah, bring them
Let's do
full
it.
screen.
Asshole.
We'll go through them real
Scott
quick.
didn't give it a 5.
Of course, Scott didn't. Scott's hard, but at least he tagged all of us.
Look, he can feel the cardamom, but he can't taste
I know.
it.
I love that he can
He
feel
can
it.
feel
though.
it.
Scott is a trip, and that is
We do
exactly
love Scott.
something he would say.
Yeah.
I can feel it though.
There you go,
There you
Daniel.
go.
Oh, boy, look at that! Look at that picture, though. Nailed it.
Yeah.
I
Really,
just want to
really
give
nice.
Abby a shout out. She printed these off and had them by the register so that you could give our little QR code a scan.
Yep.
And it like with additional advertising outside of like just having it on the whatever
on like the actual like menu
Yeah.
board. All right, so we have one more portion to get to here.
Let's do it.
I think it's oh yeah, let's do it. You roll the film. I'll wait.
Stop freezing.
I have time.
Stop doing.
All right, so for
This
those
is
of
why
you,
you don't get to direct the show. It gets
True
all
story.
screwed up every time you touch something.
I didn't touch
That's
anything.
what Tiffany said. All right.
Oh yeah, true story.
Go
So
for
this is the portion of the show where we take a split second to reflect on something that we wish was beer versus what it actually is. So it could be from the week, could be from today, could be about the queen dying, I assume.
No, mine's not about the queen. I
Just
did text you about it though.
I know, just a quick second to touch on something we wish was actually beer instead of what it really is. So I'm gonna let Tiffany go first because she's long-winded.
Michelle Obama's portrait. I wish that was beer because I can't afford to have an equally amazing portrait painted of
okay.
myself, but I can afford beer. She looks fucking amazing in that portrait. I don't know if anyone has seen that.
Yes.
I have not seen it yet.
You need to go look at it. Like,
I'm gonna find it.
if anyone wants to gift me something, I would like someone to paint me just as gorgeous as that.
Like one of your French girls.
Yeah. Like, it's amazing. Highly recommend looking at it. It was funny because I watched like a couple clips of like the actual.
Running long. Hold on. You got your wish you were beer was in, didn't you?
I watched the couple of the clips. Not that one. God. I watched a couple like clips of the actual like discussion of like it being unveiled, and I miss Obama's jokes for the record.
Sure.
But it was funny because he was talking about how like her portrait was amazing, and he was like, "Yeah, they wouldn't make my ears smaller. They captured all of the gray hairs, and
Well,
I guess it was good."
I'm with Trevor Noah on this one because he bashed Obama's actual picture because he was like, just a white background looks like a DMV picture. Like,
So this is what popped up when I searched for it.
As Jennifer Aniston at like 22.
Then I type in Michelle Obama portrait, and this is the #1 Google response.
by the way, whoever owns that Etsy is paying way more in advertising than we are because that popped up when you typed anything into it.
Also, are we allowed to show butts like that? I don't know.
It's YouTube.
I don't know. We'll find out. So much for our account. See you later.
All right,
Daniel, what do you wish was? Oh, me?
No, yeah, you boo.
So I wish that the
Boy, you're really flying off the cuff here, aren't you?
oh yeah, I had one.
You want
and
me
I
to
can't-
go? Give you
Yeah,
some?
I had it, and then I was like, wait, how do I spin it? I was pulling a Tiffany here, and I didn't know how to full circle
I'll
it.
go first.
I
then.
texted Vero to make sure I had
I'll let
it,
you
and
wrap
I
it
literally
up.
just looked at it.
All right, thank you.
Mine's really easy because it may be somewhat similar to yours, but I wish the weather today was beer because here today it was in the mid 70s with very
That's
little
nice.
humidity. It was kind of overcast all day, and I wish that weather was beer so I could have it every fucking day.
It was amazing.
God, it was
Like to
beautiful.
the point where like windows were open.
I sweat like twice today, which is fucking amazing.
I didn't sweat at all.
I know, it's like every other day.
I didn't even shower because
Oh,
I didn't sweat at all.
don't tell people that.
That's why my
All
hair
right.
is up.
Any good wish you were beers in the comments?
No.
Nope, you're good.
Nope?
Vero says she wishes the dentist office would smell like. Oh no! Wait! Oh no! I see it now. Okay, go ahead.
All right, so mine is Kevin and Abby. What are your wish you were beer this week? Yeah, we
Okay.
brought you right back in without warning.
Fuck around and find out.
So I wish cans were beer because then you could drink beer and then it's more beer.
Okay.
So you wish it was
it's
like a never-ending beer can.
it's like a taco
Yeah.
where you can eat
Yeah.
everything,
Hold
the
on.
entire shell.
Yeah.
Phil.
Taco, like the bits fall out and then more taco.
Yeah, you can eat the carrier of the beer.
You
And
can
got
have the
it. More.
carrier of the beer.
See, I
I'm
was
I'm with you here, Kevin.
Gabriel coming in hot 2 weeks in a row.
Here it is.
I gotta check reviews. God damn it.
This is the best wish you were here. This guy. Whatever you're going through, we're thankful for it.
Andy wishes faculty complaints were beer because there are plenty of them to go around. Nice. Vera wish getting credentials for presidential entourage were beer because I would have a brewery this week. I wish formatting in Word was beer. It already behaves like it's drunk. Might as well make me drunk too.
So true.
Fair. And also, is Gabe okay? Abby, do you got anything? Something you wish was beer other than being in Ohio during the release of our beer?
No, I wish my trip to Ohio was nothing other than what it was, but I do wish that the back patio at Tradition was beer because I could drink it away and start over again. I'm fucking tired of that back patio. I have given them SketchUp models. I have given them hand renders. I have given them everything, and it keeps on turning out like a trash pile. So I'm going to drink that patio away until it's something prettier.
God, I love it.
That's my beer.
Love it.
Fantastic.
Sorry to drag you back in. Phil's an asshole.
All right. Well, thank you again for coming on.
Gabe is doing really well. And his
Wife is composting.
wife is composting.
Someone said. All right.
Somebody call Gabriel.
Somebody call the Maine police. All right.
Link if you need to be rescued.
Because your wife can't.
Yeah.
We're gonna, pretty soon, we're going to have a true crime podcast about Gabriel.
It all
Wish you knew
started.
where the beer was.
It all started with a beer podcast. Gabriel started commenting, leaving breadcrumbs. All right.
All right.
Kevin,
Thank
Abby,
you again
do
for
it,
coming
man.
on. We'll see you. All right. Mine will be quick so we can get the hell out of here. I got
Sounds
bingo
good.
to get to.
5.
Um,
Oh, no. Sorry. Different part.
Real quick, I think we've had this one before, but Daniel, you said weather, and I think you've done that one like 6 times.
Yeah, and he did. I live outside.
I'm going with I wish gasoline was beer because I spent so much driving from Portland down to LA this past weekend that God, I wish I could have spent that money just all on beer.
Could you even imagine?
Instead, I spent it on gas and also on beer.
I was gonna say you're
But-
doubling the hole now. Jesus.
But if it was, I don't mind spending $5-6 a gallon on beer. That
You
sounds
know,
great.
that's always a funny conversation for us as well. Like, boy, we really gotta cut back on some things. Not beer though. That's $500 a weekend. We do not fuck with that money.
I don't think it's that much, but it's not a pretty number.
It's pretty close.
You don't want to do the math.
No, you don't.
Please give us discounts so we can afford to drink at your establishment.
All right. So thank you again to Tradition. We really appreciate them stopping by and giving us the opportunity to play around and have another beer and get the chance to make another beer.
Yep.
We have a beer next week, I assume. We have something we're doing next week. Oh, an alt beer. I forgot
We're
about
doing
that.
our first alt beer.
Yeah, which is not like an alt-right beer. Like it's just an
Oh,
alt
is it
beer.
not? Oh, well,
No. Very different beer.
No?
We can get our neighbor guy with the signs. Currently is his
Now-
sign.
I'm going to be completely honest here. I did not really know much about alt beers prior to going to Portland. And when I was in Portland, they were everywhere.
Yep.
And I was like, what is this alt beer thing? And I was like looking it up, trying to figure it out. And I fucking love them.
Yep.
So then it became something I just kept searching for because I was like, I'd never seen them and they were everywhere. So I picked this one up for us while I was in Portland. I have not had this one, but I've had one of their other beers. So I'm excited about this
And
one.
we're in talks with the brewery. We should, in theory, at least have one of the co-owners or founding members on the show with us as well.
So please come back so that we look like we have a show that people want.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now someone close the show out so I can pee.
Tiffany.
Oh, damn it. I said I have to pee.
All right.
Let's make it quick.
So, everyone who is in the local area, please go try this beer.